grew up in a small town. Not a lot of people, but a lot of history and a lot of spooky stories out in the woods. We had your typical scary place out in the woods. This is a small East Texas town. And a bunch of us, after a Friday night football game, I was in the band and all that good stuff, we would all load into the back of a pickup truck and we would take off, and it was called Clark's Ferry. And the story was, it's way out in the woods at a dead end, and apparently there used to be a river out there or something. It's called Clark's Ferry. Apparently there used to be a school out there, like 1800s or something, and there was a ferry that would boat the kids across, and the thing capsized and all the kids drowned, and it was just a big mess. And you say that you can go out there and you can still hear the kids and rustling and the moans and the groans of the spirits trying to get out. Now, I never heard any of that, but we certainly had ourselves wound up enough that we believed that every creek and splinter and crack, we about jumped out of our skins. I mean, we'd have each other so freaking spooked and fried in the mind before we ever got there that we just wanted to get there and turn around and leave. But we would go and we'd cook out and we'd hang out. There was also the goat woman. Bless her heart, probably just some old woman. I never saw her, but there was a rundown shack and they said it was a goat woman and disfigured and she'd come at you and all that, but I never saw that. But what I did see was our local KKK chapter. Damn sure did. And to this very day, 20 years later, I can name several of them, won't do it. But pretty much the big guys in the town at the time, we went out there and we start seeing lights or maybe a bonfire or somebody's cooking or something, and we know that's strange because a lot of people don't hang out in Clark's Ferry. It's just us stupid kids going out on Friday nights, you know, with a wine cooler and a cigarette that we're not supposed to have. And as we get closer and closer, there are fires, and there's all the guys standing around, and they're just having a meeting. I mean, they weren't lynching anybody. They weren't tearing up anything. They were just having a meeting, I guess, reciting their little rituals and checking out each other's little costumes or whatnot. But there was about 20 of them, and they were not happy we were there. And when they were telling us to leave, they knew by the looks on our faces, some of us recognized who they were, which stirred up some of the other ones, and they were just like, get out of here. You didn't see this. You don't know anything about it. You don't talk about it. And we pretty much did amongst ourselves, but to nobody else. And pretty much I don't think anybody would have cared, because in the little town that I lived in, it was 100% white. There was no blacks. There was no Mexicans. There was nothing. And it's still pretty much that way today. There may be some Mexicans now. Or Spanish people. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. But yeah, the KKK in my small town, and I know who they were, and it was a very frightening night. Very frightening night. Because everybody just knew who each other was. And I do think it brought some problems around later on, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, interesting night, small town, Friday night football game in the KKK. Bye.